First of all, ahead of your trip to Stamford Bridge, how are the squad looking?
Yeah, well, we obviously preparing well for the game, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. Squad at this moment in time is looking forward to the game, and yeah, we've obviously another day to go before we finalise our plan.
And what are you expecting from Chelsea? A few new signings from last season. Do you expect a different challenge?
No, it's always a tough game. You're playing against a top team. They showed in their last home game against Tottenham. They're a very good side, technically good players, and have that ambition and motivation to want to win. So and they'll look to bounce back from their last game against Leeds. So yeah, well, we anticipate a tough game, but we're looking forward to it.
And still looking for that first win in the league. How important could that first 3 points be? And have you done anything different in training this week?
Well, it's a matter of time. I think that what we've shown in certainly 2 of the 3 league games, Brentford and the Southampton game, that we mustn't stop. I think that was the message. Played very well for certain periods of the game, but you can't stop in the Premier League. You got to keep working. You got to keep concentrating, and yeah, it's reinforcing a lot of work of when we're good, but also increasing the intensity of our game, which is important.
I have to ask you about Wesley Fofana, Brendan. First of all, has he trained this week, and is he available for selection this weekend?
Yeah, he won't be available for the weekend. He has trained with our under-23 squad. So yeah.
And I know you spoke about it after Stockport, but are you expecting Chelsea to come in with another bid for him?
I'm not sure. It's something about my concentration really with the players that we have and the team. So I can't lose energy thinking so much about it. If I'm honest, it'll be something that will be done between the clubs. Until that happens, then we have to continue to work with what we have.
And just 3 years ago, the Harry Maguire situation when he left to Manchester United, are there any similarities to that situation? Because it was something that kind of dragged on throughout the summer.
No, it was totally different. I think I was aware over the course of the summer that there was a possibility that could happen. And I think, in fairness to Harry, I've always said this before, and I'll repeat, Harry was, in terms of his behaviour and his focus for the club was fantastic, and right until last minute he was with the team and with the squad, and then he moved on. So no, it is different. Obviously, in a few of my seasons here, we've lost obviously Ben Chilwell as well, but this unfortunately is just a little bit different. But our focus is with the team and the players that are available.
And just a week to go until the transfer window closing. Are you expecting a few outgoings and hopefully a few incomings?
Hopefully that can be the case. Yeah, be really good for the team, and to be able to do that, to improve the squad is always important. I think that that is key for us. But everyone knows the situation, and until that changes, we will work with what we have.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Okay, we'll go to Jason.
Hey Brendan, hope you're okay. With Wes, does he understand the action that you're taking? Is he being civil about what's going on?
Yeah, he's fine.
Cool. What's it like walking here in a morning, or walking into the building in a morning? Obviously, the situation at the moment with results off the pitch not so great. The transfer situation I think we all know about. I guess most people could be forgiven for maybe feeling a bit down about the situation. But what's the mood like in the camp on a daily basis?
Yeah, mood's absolutely fine. We're very lucky to work in the profession that we do. Jason, there are more important things in life, and like I said, football is obviously important for many people's lives, and we do as well as we possibly can do to make those lives as happy as we can. But when you're not winning games, it's all about process. You got to get back, get into work. I'm one of the last people that will lose my optimism. I'm very optimistic in life and with this team and with the club. So we come in every day. We're very fortunate to work in a great facility, and I know there's a lot of noise and speculation around what we haven't done in terms of transfers and improving the squad. But ultimately, we come in here every day to improve and develop, and that hasn't changed.
Of the matches you played in the Premier League so far, you're getting plenty of the ball, although maybe not against Arsenal, I'll grant you. But I guess not creating that many real chances. I think you've only managed 8 shots on target in 3 matches so far. Actually, you are scoring goals, I grant you as well. But what do you put the lack of opportunities or the lack of real chances down to? Is it simply lack of creativity between certain players?
Well, it's always about the team. I think it's about the collective. We, like you say, at Arsenal, we scored 2 and maybe didn't create so much, but I still think we've done enough to win the games. I think that that connection and those relationships improve as the season goes on. I think we've been in position, certainly in 2 of the 3 games, to have won the games, which we should have done. And I think, but it's definitely something that we recognise that in the final third of the pitch we need to speed up our game. It needs to, have that bit more flexibility, a bit more, not be so safe, and take that risk. And so that's something that we've spoken about and we've worked on.
Is that something you just have to communicate to the players about? Or is it something that comes from inside, maybe a bit of self-belief?
Yeah, it's a bit of everything. I think at this level, and if you want to compete at the very top level, but certainly throughout the Premier League, you need to have big belief. That's very, very important. There's things that happens within the game, that you can work on the training field, but there's certain moments of intuition in the game and a will to score a goal and a desire to score a goal. That's absolutely vital. So there's many factors to it. Clearly confidence is one as well. But I think, like I said, if you look at the Brentford game, we were excellent for 60 minutes. If you look at the game against Southampton, how we played in that for up to 60 minutes, the tempo of the game, the speed in the game, the numbers in the box. And like I said earlier, we mustn't stop that. And I think that's been the difference. But we've stopped when maybe there's a comfort in the game, but at this level, you're never comfortable, like we've seen at 1-0 and 2-0. So we just have to keep promoting our work, because if you're going to achieve anything and get back to any sort of level, the basics of that is hard work, and that's something we reinforced this week.
As you know, management isn't just about what you do before a game, it's what you do during a game as well. Do you regret maybe some of the changes that you've made in those home games where you have been in front and they've turned either into draws or defeats, and the other managers has maybe changed the games in a more positive manner and obviously gone on to gain points or win?
In different circumstances, isn't it? If you're 2-0 down in a game, the game becomes random then, so you can make as many changes, or you can make 5 changes, and if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, if we don't get the results, it's my responsibility. So whether you make a positive change or you don't get the result, it's the responsibility is the manager. But you always do what you do at the moment, and you have that feel in the game. And like I said, sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. I don't necessarily reflect back so much on it. I look at the game and analyse the games where it can be better, and look to be better in our next game.
Last couple from me. What's the latest with the set piece coach? Are they coming in soon?
Yeah, there's nothing to add at that moment.
Good luck.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi.
On the injury situation, are there any fresh injuries ahead of the trip to Chelsea this weekend?
We're getting a show around James Maddison, but we'll see how that is tomorrow. So hopefully he'll be okay, but that would be the only doubt at the moment.
Is that hip problem that he's had
No,
before? Something different?
No, just felt a twinge yesterday and when he was training. So yeah, we'll have to see what that looks like tomorrow.
Okay. And I wondered about Ryan Bertrand. I know we've not seen him for a long time, but is there a timescale you have on him at all about when he might be fit again to be in line for selection?
No, there's no timeline at the moment. He's awaiting an operation, so so no time on that at the moment.
Okay. On Wesley Fofana, I wonder for you as a manager when you would consider bringing him back in, your thoughts for selection. When is the right time to do that if this move to Chelsea doesn't happen?
Well, I think for me it's always about the commitment and when the players are ready to commit to the team and the ethos of the team. I think, like I said, it's been a challenge for Wesley. So, and if you're not in the right frame of mind and you have to respect the welfare of the player, then that's we have to push on. But listen, the window will shut in the not too distant future, and then obviously a lot of things become much clearer after that finishes.
What was the conversation like when you were talking to him about him not being involved in selection processes and him then being training with the development squad? It was
okay. It's a private conversation, so I'm never going to go into too much here, to be honest.
Okay. Obviously, you told us that there'd been a third bid on Tuesday morning, and you said that when we spoke after the Stockport game, that you didn't really know too much detail about that. How close was that to the valuation that Leicester have in mind for Wesley Fofana?
I've got nothing to add on that.
To bring players in, Brendan, obviously you've spoken about the need to move players out as well at the same time. Do you know how many more players need to leave the club before you're able to look within the means of the sustainable model to start looking at bringing players in?
Well, we're probably looking at a few players at least to try and allow us to, to do some business to bring some in. So I think that's, as you say, that's been the model of the club, hasn't it, in terms of, a player moving on and releasing funds to bring in other players. So so we're probably looking up to a couple of players in order for us to help improve the squad.
And a final one, Brendan, from me, but on Chelsea this weekend, because of their result last weekend, does that make them a little bit more unpredictable this weekend?
No, I think what you'll get an ambition to want to put it right. It certainly doesn't make the game any easier. They off the back of a tough game where Leeds played well and got the result, and they'll be wanting to go into their next game, which is our game, and get a positive result. So for us, we know that and expect that challenge. But for us, we go there with a view to look to get our first win. We know we can. We don't have to be the best team in the world to beat the biggest teams, of which we've shown that over our time here. So we go there with a real commitment and a real focus to get our first win of the season.